Hello, my dear ones. Special day, 24th of June. We are in a full moon. It's basically the end of Mercury Retrograde, and I gave myself an entire retreat for myself to be in calm and to reconnect, to review, replan. And one of the ways I do that is by doing intuitive painting. That is basically to meditate, moving, and capture that movement with painting. Yesterday, I took a canvas that was completely white. I played a meditation of Ho'oponopono. You don't know what Ho'oponopono is. It is a Hawaiian practice that says basically three things. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. And you repeat that many times to yourself, to the past, to the future, to your dear ones, to yourself, to different parts of yourself. Very powerful stuff. So while I was doing that, I was, releasing all the things that I say towards myself that I don't like about myself, that I feel ashamed, that I blame, that I feel guilty, while I was on the canvas putting paint. So I just put all the paint that I could, and I was moving in the way that I felt the I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, this towards myself, but towards the world as well. And I ended up liking this is the last version of it. Of course, imagine me walking around the canvas, that I walk on the ground, and moving myself in different places. So I didn't know what was up, what was down. When it was finished, I asked all my family what they thought. What do you see? Well, I see nothing. I see lava. I see a beach. I see a mountain. I see a pregnant woman. I see a monster. And we had a lot of fun with that. And we let it dry. And last night already I saw it, that when I was having dinner, the most vivid image that this one has for me is an Inuit. An Inuit, an Eskimo, a person from the North Pole, a man. You can see here his head. And here you can see his arms, one arm, another. So with a lot of imagination, you see an Inuit. And that brought me to the book, my favorite book on the divine feminine and the story of the skeleton woman. This story is so huge. I have recently reread it thanks to a dear friend who is rereading this book, not reading for the first time, so it's really exciting for her. And I read the version of Dr. Pincola's text, and I watched several videos on YouTube about this story. And it just made so much sense to the historical moment that we're living right now, to the spiritual moment that we are living right now, to the spiritual moment that I am living right now. It's so powerful a story. Somehow it's comparable to the story of Sleeping Beauty. So the story is very profound, very old. It has been going for centuries, I guess, if not for millennia, in the oral tradition. So I'm going to do my best to tell you the story in the most succinct way, but complete. We don't know when, and we don't know for what reason her father pushed her into the cold sea. Her body went down into the water, and the fish started eating from her flesh until she became a skeleton. One good day, a fisherman went to fish. And instead of catching a big fish, he caught the skeleton woman. And then he started pulling up, and he didn't know what he had gotten. He thought it was a big, big fish. And then when he got her out of the water and he saw her, he was in terror. And he started going away as fast as possible, running away from that scary skeleton. But he didn't realize that they both were entangled by that rope, by that fishing rope. So he made it all the way to his house, to his igloo. And he, panting, just had to sit down. He couldn't run anymore. And he turned around and he saw the bones of a skeleton woman. There was a bone of the finger in her eye and a knee close to her elbow, and all the bones were completely in disarray. And he had compassion for her, curiosity. He started arranging all the bones, the skull, the vertebrae, the shoulder bones, the arms, everything, just how the order of the bones should be like. And then he felt calm, no longer scared. He could sleep. When he fell asleep, as she was in order, she was able to stand up and connect with the heart of the man. As she connected with the heart of the man, she started praying and singing for having flesh, for having hair, organs, muscles. And as she prayed, connected to the heart of the man, like magic, flesh started to come into on her bones. And she started to become a beautiful woman with all beautiful skin, beautiful hips, beautiful hair. And then she got inside the bed with the man, and they embraced. And when they woke up, they put together everything they had, and they left to live together, knowing that those animals who ate her flesh when she was in the sea will feed them forever. I love all these elements of this story. When you read in the book of Clarissa Pinkola Estes, the Women Who Run with the Wolves, she tells us the story in a way that is a couple. It's a woman, it's a man. He finds her, he deals with his emotions, and they learn to have this marriage, this spiritual marriage of their personified divine feminine and divine masculine. And I've been thinking and meditating, looking at this painting, and before, this has been a profound reflection for the last month, actually. The whole last month I've been thinking and feeling about it. And I think it is true. It talks about the relationship of a man and a woman. But it also talks about of your divine feminine and your divine masculine within. It talks about my divine feminine and my divine masculine within. My divine masculine, my integrated father said that it was stupid to be a crying woman, you know, because I used to cry when I was little and I was very sensitive. I have paranormal experiences since I was, since I can remember. I have seen spirits since I can remember, but shut up. You have to go to university. The only way to be intelligent is to be an engineer. The only way to be intelligent is mathematics. And I could do mathematics. So my inner father threw to the water that baby inner feminine within in my psyche. And I went to university and all the flesh of my bones fell off. I totally forgot about the feminine. I totally forgot about the emotions. And then the emotions got repressed and the emotions got in that water. And really beautifully, it had to be the masculine who will take me out of the water, which was my own courage to get me out and to review who I was and to reorder my bones. This is 14 years ago when I decided to leave corporate and to do my inner work. Okay, so where is this bone? Where is that bone? These thoughts, where is this part of trauma, this blame, this element that I don't like about myself? Until finally, I could say right now, I am marrying both. I could say that it's even this year that I am marrying both my inner masculine and my inner feminine. I am here online on internet talking to you about spirituality, about consciousness, about profound psychological subjects. Even if I am an engineer, I am marrying my masculine and my feminine right now. And what I see is that we are doing precisely the same as humanity. We have forgotten 12,000 years of the feminine being there in water, just totally forgetting all those powerful and valuable elements of what the feminine is. We have no idea. We have been labeling as bad and scary. If we are too sensual, oh, that is, prostitution, or that's a gold digger. You should not have a miniskirt. It's dangerous. We have even labeled as well as bad the masculine, because the masculine push the feminine to the river. Oh, the masculine is bad. And that's where you get the gender war. What I love so much about, there's so many elements I love about this tale, but the heroic divine masculine here, when he orders the bones of her and when he falls asleep. When he orders her bones, is this daring masculine element in our psyche and in society to be able to have conversations about the uncomfortable, to be able to be presencing the pain, the historical pain of the things that we haven't been able to talk about. When we talk about trauma, when we talk about rape, when we talk about death, when we talk about the things that we usually don't talk about, and we talk about it in a way that we don't want to change it, we want to give it a place. He doesn't throw away any bone, he just keeps it a place. And by giving it a place, you know what our bones are? Our bones are structure, what gives us shape. This is what all those things that we don't want to talk about give us shape. Shape spiritually, shape of personality. The second part is when he falls asleep. When he falls asleep, there is this sleep of trust. Even if I have seen the most horrible parts in you, I trust that I am safe to fall asleep with you, skeleton woman. And that trust, that innocence, and that's the way she calls it, is so beautiful when you read it. That innocence is knowing, seeing what is bad, seeing those bones, and still believing in the good. And when you believe in the good, you can fall asleep, and you can love with so much innocence that those bones become, in fact, the structure of a new being. And this is what I'm seeing right now with society. We are not that many. We are few people who are doing this inner work for ourselves, that is starting to ripple in organizations, in governments, in institutions, in families. This marriage of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. See that, yes, indeed, we hurt each other in the past 12,000 years. Yes, we can see war, and you can see abandonment, and we can see fear of running away from each other, you know, when they are running, but he's escaping and she is entangled. It's time for reconciliation. It is time for reconciliation, for presencing and loving. And the end of the tale, when it says, and they lived in peace with the knowing that those animals that fed from her flesh will feed them forever. That pain, that old pain, those horrible things that happened to you, to your family, the ancestral trauma, are going to be the food, the spiritual food that is going to allow you to do the sacred work that you are meant to do. All this came because of this painting. And it was totally, you know, coincidental. I was just moving how the meditation was going. So what is my invitation for you today? My invitation for you today is to look beyond you. To look beyond you. The fisherman went to fish because he was hungry. And afterwards he got into all this story, and I started ordering the bones of this woman. What is that presents to you that you could be ordering? Where could you be putting this innocence, this love, this hope for humanity? Where could you put your divine masculine, your action towards love, towards reconciliation, forgiveness, growth? Where can you give yourself powerfully, in a way that is compassionate, in a way that is constructive? Maybe it's your presencing and not taking tremendous action, but just being there, holding the space for others so that they can stand up. Just think about when he's sleeping. He's sleeping, and that's when she puts herself together. So, I know it was a long video, but it's a very profound one. Thanks to the Inuits, thanks to Clarissa Pincolla's test. Give it its time. Maybe play it again. Share it. Discuss it with others. See what it means to you. Which element of this tale of the beautiful skeleton woman is calling you? What is calling you? Is it calling you for action? Is it calling you for stillness? I wish you an absolutely wonderful day, a wonderful full moon day. a day to release all what you need to release and put attention in how you can be of service. If you like this video, please do a thumbs up, share it, comment. And I wish you an absolutely wonderful full moon evening. And I see you tomorrow. Have a nice day.